Greetings, Patrick here, and we are here for another film review here on Have Cheetah Will View. And tonight's movie that we'll be looking at is from 2024, and it is Sea of Madness, Siren's Revenge. And it was written and directed by our friend Mitch Laing, who popped up with his second movie in his Bogman world. So this movie is a lot of fun. Um, it was supposed to be a horror comedy, but I gotta be honest with you, I thought this movie played out more like a straight horror film with a couple of funny incidences, a funny couple of moments, but overall, I thought it worked out really well as a horror movie. It definitely wears its heart on the sleeve. And Mitch has done a great job in playing homage to me in three great movies. The movies are Death Ship, uh, which had George Kennedy on it, very much of that. You got a little bit of Ghost Ship on there, a little bit, and also yeah, I don't want to give out too much. I don't want to give out too much, but definitely Death Ship was the one thing that came to my mind in watching this. Um, and the story basically is a bunch of folks are from the first movie are called the Bogman. Well, they're trying to after the incidents of the first movie, they're trying to get their series back, their TV show that went kaput after the first movie. So they are looking for a golden angel to invest in their show. So they meet them at this little at this yacht, and they're going to go ahead and go where they think the Sasquatch is at. And but during the time, their boat has hit a rock, and now they're leaking and sinking. So um, the crew gets off the one boat into life rafts, but they get split up, and they don't they each are separated, but they each find a ship out in the ocean, and they each land on it, climb aboard of it. One survivor group got there first, and the second one follows up, and they find out that the ship actually is full of mysterious creatures. And this is where another homage comes in. That is, if anybody loves Lovecraft, you'll definitely love this. Also has a Lovecraft Dagon type of feel to it. Also a feel over Evil Dead, but more Dagon. I thought that was really more of it than, even though there are definitely elements of Evil Dead in it, but I sort of went with Dagon. Um, so the group of survivors, they meet each other, and they initially get plowed at first. they get they're looking for food and water. They find liquor, so they get plowed. Uh, but soon enough, they do run across a small group of survivors. And after they take a good look at the ship, they realize that the ship that they have recovered on is not a research vessel or a pleasure boat, but it is a naval destroyer. They are out there on a mission. A group of scientists is on a mission on the behalf of the U.S. government to find some sort of life on the bottom of the ocean. So the Navy has given them a destroyer at their disposal. And really cool about this, Mitch got to film on a live destroyer. It's a museum piece, but he got to use it to film on, and I got to tell you, it's really cool. I really like that. I really like that aspect that they got to film on a real naval ship. Adds a lot to the movie. Uh, well, the survivors all get together. They realize that the ship is slowly being taken over by these different creatures, including mermaids and mermen. And they've done is they have slowly but surely killed the crew from the original mission, and now they have more victims here in this off the pleasure boat. So basically is trying to stay alive and get off the boat before they get infected. They can infect you by their by pouring their blood on you or scratching you or cutting you or there's a lot of ways for you to get to become infected and turn into a mermaid or a merman. And unfortunately for them, not too many make them off the boat. I won't tell you anything more about that, but it's a whole hell of a lot less than what was on when they first started for both parties. Um, the end of the movie is a little bit of a has probably where most of the humor is at, as they showcase Mitch playing Richard Brooks, who is he's a shell of his man, of the man he was in the first movie. He's definitely there for comic relief, even though it was toward the end of the movie, but it was still pretty cute seeing Mitch out there. I just hope the hell that was a real liquor that he was holding up, because he would have been plowed under 6 ways. Um, a very attractive young lady was also had a very fun scene at the end of the movie as well. And I'm going like, man, it must be good to be the director and the writer. um, all right, let me tell you some pros and some cons of this movie. First, I'm going to go with the cons because I didn't really find that many. Um, I think everybody did as best as they could for the film. The acting was definitely uneven. You could definitely tell where the actors there are some actors that were pro at it. They have done this before, and there's some that you could tell it was like the first movie, or filling it in for somebody who didn't, maybe they need some extras or whatnot. Um, Jessa Flex was advertised as being in the film, and she's in for one scene. Yeah, she's in there for one scene. She looks fantastic. Uh, but her and of course Patricia Flanagan, who was on on Eight Questions with, she also plays another mermaid as well. But that was probably the only disappointing thing for me was I just wish there had been more time to use her. But again, it's one of those things where she's so busy right now that she can only commit to, projects really fast. I mean, and the demand for her is rising. I mean, this is to be expected with her. Um, I think maybe last year you probably would have had her for 3 to 5 days, 6 days, whatever you needed from her. But the demand for her skills and her, especially in independent horror, is such where she's only able to do. She's got so many projects lined up. So that stung a little bit. It didn't affect the quality of the movie, but if you really wanted to see Jessa, you were going to be a little bit disappointed. Um, the other thing too that really just jumped right at me as far as yikes, Bree Hill, makeup artist Bree Hill was definitely missed. I didn't like the makeup art. I didn't like this makeup for this movie. I thought it really looks subpar compared to the quality of what we're seeing elsewhere in the movie as far as acting and on set locations. I thought the makeup was really not very good, and I'm just being honest with you here. Bree Hill, who did the Bogman, um, definitely you can see the difference between the two makeup artists. Um, but some other good things. So what I really liked the score. Um, I thought the score was top notch. Uh, Very much elevated the movie. Justin Lewis did a nice job with that. Cinematography by Daniel Stark. He looks like he had a lot of fun, and it definitely got together with Mitch on some creative camera angles. And I just thought to myself, going, man, that must have been hard as hell to film in that destroyer. I mean, you're talking like, if you've seen a destroyer before, you know what I'm talking about. It's very narrow aisleways, very narrow, and they weren't working they weren't working in a studio or a cutout. They're on a real destroyer. They had to make that work, and it's very impressive work by Daniel Stark. And whatever you got paid, Daniel, you earned it. It's excellent. So there's some very some good and some other positives I really enjoyed about this too like I said, I enjoyed the acting. I enjoyed the fact that I thought the location was really well. Um, I like the way it was filmed. It comes across looking like a '70s film. It has that little sprinkles and cuts all over the screen as you're watching it. Um, yeah, I thought overall, I thought this was a really well done movie, and very ambitious and very, like I said, it has a couple of lighthearted moments in it, but there's definitely a love there for creature features, for Lovecraft, and it shows off that Mitch has a strong knowledge of movies. Considering that he brought up some be honest with you, a couple of scare movies. If you're really thinking about Dagon, even though it was directed by Stuart Gordon, not too many people know about that movie or how the creatures turn human into mermaid. And then there's also Death Ship, which was another movie that came from the mid '70s with George Kennedy, and it was a very good movie, very underrated, but very not very much talked about. So, overall, I was impressed. I was impressed. Um, you can get this copy. You can actually see this movie on YouTube. I will put that down in the link so you guys can check that out. You don't necessarily just see a trailer, you'll be able to see the movie. And if you'd like, you can come over and check out Mitch's Instagram page. I'll put that up as well. And you can make contact with him. And if you want to get a physical copy uh, of Sea of Madness, which I highly recommend you do, you can contact Mitch for that. And also, while you're there, pick up the copy of the first movie, the Bogman. And there's more Bogman greatness to come later on. Um, Mitch and his crew are doing some world building right now, and I look forward to seeing the next installment. All right, that's it for us. If you get a chance to see Sea of Madness, I would love to hear your feedback on it. Let me know what you thought of this movie. Um, are you a big Lovecraft fan? Have you ever heard of Death Ship or Ghost Ship or Dagon? Let me know down below. I'd like to hear what your thoughts are. If you have seen those, what do you think? Think it's a favorable comparison? Because I do. All right. Well, that's it for us. We will talk at you soon. Thanks for listening. Peace.